The Arctic is a pristine environment, home to numerous Inuit communities and communities of wildlife like polar bears, narwhals, snowy owls, and different Arctic seabirds like thick-billed murres. Did you catch the lie? The Arctic is no longer a pristine environment. Chemicals like OPEs and PFAS are used in numerous different products across personal, household, and industrial, and these forever chemicals are making their way into the Arctic at historic levels. My work is looking at the levels or concentrations of these chemicals that are found in plasticizers, food packaging materials, makeup, hair care, firefighting foams, and flame retardants. Yes, they are everywhere, but I'm not coming after little Tommy's baby shoes. Water, humans, biota, pretty much everything in the Arctic that finds its home in the Arctic are under assault by these contaminants of emerging Arctic concern. These animals have levels of concentration of these chemicals at unknown levels and are important food sources for Inuit communities. Therefore, there's a great need to understand the cause and effect of these chemicals on these animals. We must do better to protect the environment and ourselves. So what can we do about it? These chemicals are used in such excess that policy is unable to regulate, mandate, or keep up. The Arctic is so cold that any chemicals that find their way here deposit and accumulate, unable to escape. Previous work done in my lab found Arctic seabirds as carriers of microplastics and plastic additives like OPEs and PFAS. Arctic seabirds are a fascinating case study. They act as a critical early warning indicator of contaminant loading into the Arctic. By testing different Arctic seabird tissues and the waters around their colonies, we can determine the chemicals and in what quantities are actually making it to the Arctic. My work is looking at specific Arctic seabirds like thick-billed murres and testing their plasma, eggs, and liver for contaminant loading of OPEs. I'll also be testing the water around their colonies for these chemicals, including PFAS, to determine if there's higher concentrations closer to their colonies or further away. Of 35 different chemicals tested, on average, we found 7 to 8 OPEs in these tissues, but just by tissues, up to 14. That is a lot for the Arctic, due to the remoteness of the Arctic and of the remoteness of the seabird habitats. This is critical information for policy regulators. And best case scenario, we can list these chemicals on the Stockholm Convention for persistent organic pollutants. Any chemicals located on here saw massive improvements in the environment. Think ozone layer level recovery. We must do better to protect our family in the north and those across the globe. Thank you.